No.
So what's happening then?
Tell you what's happening. You're looking blooming.
Oh, you're
glowing
very
he is,
kind.
guys. Glowing.
You're very kind.
I've never seen Wyn Evans look so well.
Really?
No, I haven't. So I've got a few recipes now just to muck that up.
Nice.
All right.
What have you got today then?
We've got Lisa Fearn.
Okay.
And she's from Llanelli. She's from the Pumpkin Patch Kitchen.
Yeah.
And she grows all her ingredients.
Has she not got the shop in Carmarthen anymore?
I'm not sure.
Ask her.
Okay. What is that interesting?
Well, I was looking for a coffee the other day. I like to go to an independent.
Yeah.
But she's either shut or shut down. I can't remember.
Maybe it'd be better for you to ask your gorgeous listeners.
Yeah, they'll ask.
Where is the best coffee shop in Carmarthen?
Carmarthen,
which is an independent, not part of a massive chain.
Llanelli's got an idea. What?
Oh, Bossman.
HMY, he says. Have you been there? Where's that?
HMY?
Where's that? Oh, Llanelli boy. Where's that? He's the producer today.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't understand him. See, that's my problem. I don't understand people from Llanelli. I think he's saying Richmond Terrace. I think. But it sounds like this to me. That's what it sounds like to me.
So very nice towards the people of Llanelli.
No, but I've said it for ages.
Some huge... Oh, gosh. Sorry, my sweet fell out of my head.
Oh, God.
You know when you're sucking on a sweet and it's been in your mouth for an hour, finally it's gone to that point.
God, there's no point.
It's back in the mouth.
Anyway.
Yes, Llanelli legends, Scott Quinnell.
Can't understand him.
Phil Bennett.
I love Phil.
Phil Bennett.
What a lovely guy.
You can't understand Scott Quinnell.
No, because he goes...
No, he doesn't.
That's what he sounds. He's like one of the clangers. He sounds like one of the clangers.
He does not.
Even Mooney, who's from the Brum, who's lived in Llanelli so long, I struggle with now.
I've always struggled with Mr. Moon.
Yeah. So, I mean, and to understand him. But we always struggle with him. God. So I'm just thinking of other people I know from Llanelli. Can't think. I mean, I just can't name one that I can understand.
Well, Lisa...
Hugh Edwards, right? He's had it beaten out with him with a stick.
Oh, yeah, it's not really
so it's not right, you know? So... Anyway, Lisa Fearn, good luck with that this afternoon.
Anyway, I think she's from Carmarthen.
She's outside and I'm good again.
Yeah. So Lisa Fearn is going to be sharing two recipes. One is cake, all right? And you know if she's creating that cake is going to be stupendous. And leftover veg. And she's going to create a rissole with leftover veg. And you know this time of year, there's a lot of leftover veg.
Yeah, you just don't get around to it.
Yeah, because one day you look in the fridge and think, oh, it's too hot to have veg. Yeah. And then I'll have a salad. And then 2 days goes by and you have veg. And then, anyway.
Somebody said, it is still open.
What? Lisa's? Yeah. Oh, good, I don't have to ask her.
A shed.
That's it then. The shed is still open. Go there. We're going to be talking about the new Transformers film. That's the big
robots in disguise.
Buster release. So Gary's been to see that. Gary Slaymaker, our film reviewer here on a Friday. And also robot-related films. That is 3 of the best, okay? So your favourite films, including robots, please.
Right.
And also today we are going to be catching up with
WALL-E. It's got to be it, isn't it?
Well, it could be there. Don't know.
Carry on.
But that's your opinion.
What else are you catching up on?
Jake Shears, frontman of Scissor Sisters. I don't feel like dancing. You know that one?
Played his song today.
He's on the show at 4:30.
I know, I said that.
Well, I'm telling you.
Earlier.
Right, okay. I'm just reminding you that it's happening at 4:30. You will not find a more positive chap on this planet. He's lovely.
Positive in a good way, or positive I want to punch you repeatedly in the face?
No, in a good way.
In a good way?
Yeah, because his positivity, he shows it in creating brilliant music. It's all about pop music. It's summer music. That's what he does. Yeah. Summer music, and we've got sunshine. Sunshine on a rainy day. Fabulous. Thank you so much, my darling. Can I just say, you look bored you look bored listening to me. No, I'm not bored. The show's going to be much better from 2, okay? I slept too much last night and I can't wake up. Come on. I'm like, I've been 3 hours on the radio this morning. I don't know if you know. I have known. Yeah. I've been listening. Gorgeous girl. Can you stop talking about your feet? I lost the toe.
I haven't lost
He
it yet.
hasn't lost it.
I haven't lost it yet. I mean, it's very dear to me that I might have a burial if I do lose it. Will they let me take the tour home? It is mine. They will let me take it home.
Where are you going to bury it?
In the garden.
Where? By the hot tub?
Yeah, and have a little
cross there.
No, a gravestone.
For your toe?
Yeah.
Big thing to have for a tiny little thing.
Well, it's part of me, isn't it? Do you know, people have it for a goldfish and they're even small. Well, not smaller than my middle toe, to be fair. Anyway, thanks very much, Eleri Sion. See you at 2 o'clock.
I had a little meeting this morning with the team, right? We all gather around on a Friday morning to talk food because we are stepping into the Foodie Friday kitchen. Question: how many of you know the difference between a rissole and a faggot? And actually, if you're under the age of 30, do you know what a faggot is? This is the discussion we had this morning. The young whippersnappers had never, ever tried a faggot. And oh, lo and behold, Rissole was like another language, a foreign language. We're going to tackle Rissoles with Lisa Fearn from the Pumpkin Patch Kitchen and Garden Cookery and Gardening School, based here at a shed, at a home in Whitemill in Carmarthen. That's it. That's who we're going to be talking to next, after this beautiful track. Peaceful, easy feeling on a Friday afternoon. You know who they are, the Eagles. Eagles and peaceful, easy feeling. Oh, that sounds beautiful in the sunshine. If you are out there, of course, you lucky things. But we are bringing the sunshine through the airwaves, and we are adding a sprinkling of food as well. Because, yes, it's time for us to step into the Foodie Friday kitchen. And some famous man once said, "West is best." The great Ray Gravel, of course. And this is where the lovely Lisa Fearn is from as well, because she runs the Pumpkin Patch Kitchen and Garden Cookery and Gardening School, based at a shed, at her home in Whitemill in Carmarthen. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
Lovely to see you. Nacy Welsh. We speak Welsh usually together, don't we? So it's really odd when we always converse in English. So then, you grow everything that you prepare. Yes.
I don't grow everything. I grow as much as I can. We haven't got a large garden, and if anybody, I'm sure there's loads out there that do some vegetable growing.
Yeah.
You know, it's great and it looks wonderful when the veg patch is full and overflowing and weed-free.
Yeah.
But that's not reality, not without a lot of hard work. So if you work full-time, it's very hard, hard to maintain a good garden and, you know, produce a lot of stuff.
So what's looking quite good at the moment then? What's growing quite well?
Broad beans are coming nicely at the moment.
Right.
Runner beans are sort of getting there, and it was a slow start this spring. The spring was quite cold and wet.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's complained that it's been maybe a month delay.
Yeah.
So it's only just really starting to look reasonable at the moment, and I still wouldn't say good. But
Right. Well, all this sunshine we've had is going to make up for lost time, but we need rain now, don't we?
We definitely need
rain. These hose pipes, and my dear father is helping out his friend, and he's got these big watering cans as well. And you know, when you're a little bit older, they get heavy with all that water. All right, so you are doing okay with the gardening aspect, but what about what is happening with the courses that you provide at the cookery school? What sort of courses have you been doing recently?
Well, we've got weekly and monthly workshops for sort of the little ones, so I call them our little pumpkins. They're sort of 3. I say if they can sit up, I can almost teach them to do something in the kitchen.
Really?
Yes, with help, obviously. But you know, those lessons for the little pumpkins, the under 7s, they're taught at 2 levels. The kids enjoy mixing, maybe chopping with not so sharp knives, and you know, they enjoy being involved and helping mum. But obviously I'm teaching the mums and dads and the grandparents who attend and assist. They are getting the recipe and the knowledge and the know-how, but the child is helping. So it really works really well, actually.
So what do you teach them? What recipes? What are the key ones?
Well, all sorts. Let's say sausage rolls, for instance. So
what?
Yeah.
You teach a 7-year-old how to make a sausage roll? I'm 52, I've got no idea.
I can teach 4-year-old sausage rolls. They're easy. You can make your own pastry, and kids can rub in quite easily, rubbing the butter into the flour.
Right.
They can bring it together together with a bit of assistance. But you can also buy your pastry. You can buy sausage meat. You just roll it into a bowl. Kids used to play dough. They used to, messy play.
Suppose.
They roll it into a sausage shape. They pop it in. We use spiralizers and apple peelers to peel and chop and core the apples. They put little bits of apple in, a little bit of onion, and so it's not just a sausage roll. It's a sausage with a little bit of your 5 a day in there, and you roll it up. They can paint the egg wash on top, no problem.
Okay.
It really is. They can do more than you think.
Okay, that's one for the little back pocket for maybe the weekend. Okay, and lots going on, of course, at a shed where you are as well. And tell us about some of the themed evenings, because I was talking to Wyn Evans about a shed, and he was asking, is it still open? And it is still open,
it's definitely
isn't it?
still open. So we have the Cookery School in White Mill. That's the original. That's HQ.
Yeah.
And then we've moved the Café aspect of that into town, opposite the old Debenhams in St Catherine's Walk, if anybody's familiar with the town. And in there we have, it is a coffee shop and sort of gift store to some extent. And we've got a tapas evening tomorrow night, in fact, tapas and cocktails. And we've got an Italian themed night. So we don't open for walk-ins as such. We take bookings online once a month, and we have a themed evening, and it's a bit of a party.
Oh, I love the sound of a burger and a Knickerbocker Glory. I haven't had a Knickerbocker Glory for years. What does a Knickerbocker Glory look like at yours?
Oh, at ours, very traditional. The typical tall ice cream glass.
Yeah.
It's like an ice cream sundae with cake. Sometimes we vary it, but brownie Knickerbocker Glory, get my words out, is my favourite. So we crumble up some brownie. We have some nice, good vanilla ice cream. Depends on who's eating it. We might add a bit of a naughty drink in there as well.
Yeah.
And then some fresh fruit and cream, flavoured cream, vanilla cream or something like that on top.
You should never call a drink a naughty drink.
Sorry.
Especially on the weekend. Right, you're going to be making for us 2 things today.
I am.
First up, we won't talk about the cake. First up, what are you going to be talking about?
I'm going to make some leftover rissoles. Now, a little birdie tells me that some people here don't know what a rissole is.
Some people don't know the difference between a faggot and a rissole.
Oh dear.
Some people have never tasted a faggot or a rissole.
Oh, they should have both.
Hey, listen, we're going to talk about it all today. Thank you, Lisa. Stay with us. We'll chat more with Lisa Fearn. Remember, email us now if you would like us to send you the recipes to today's Foodie Friday recipes. Eleri, ELERI @bbc.co.uk. B52s and Love Shack here on BBC Radio Wales with me, Eleri Sion. And yes, we are here in the virtual kitchen for Foodie Friday, and Lisa Fearn of a Shed Cookery School in Carmarthen is with us. So our first dish, we mentioned rissoles, but these aren't any rissoles. What's so amazing about these particular ones?
Well, I think what makes these amazing is you can make them to whatever you want as the predominant flavour. I wouldn't call it leftover rissoles, but I feel that puts people off. It's not posh enough,
Yeah.
But you need a few core ingredients, but then you can go off-piste. You like sweet corn, you put sweet corn. You like broccoli, put broccoli. If you like fish, put fish. If you like ham, put ham. It becomes your recipe. So it's perfect for anybody and any age.
So you're going to give us a template.
I'm going to give you a template.
And then tell us no rules. Okay then. Give us the ingredients first of all.
Right, well you need mashed potato, okay? So I put here 2 cups of mashed potato. The measurements are even so relaxed, okay?
Yeah.
Approximately 2 cups of mashed potato. I won't go into how to make it yet, I'll just tell you. And then you need something like 1 to 2 cups of finely chopped leftover meat or fish, if you want to make them meaty or fishy. If you want them vegetarian, by all means, don't put these in. So I've got examples here. It can be roast chicken from roast Sunday dinner. It could be some roast beef. It could be lamb. It could be bits of lamb chops you've got left over. It could be fish from the barbecue. Any leftovers that you've got.
Ham that's going off tomorrow?
Ham that's going off tomorrow, perfect. As long as you eat them before tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then with that, you need a cup of leftover boiled or roast or steamed, however you cook it, vegetables. So, for instance, carrot, parsnip, broccoli, swede. If you're going down the traditional route, that would be perfect after a roast Sunday dinner, as I just said. But also it could be a frozen bag of, the bag of frozen veg.
Yeah.
You could use a tin of sweet corn, frozen peas, chopped spring onions, bits of tomato. You could go down the salad, more summer, more childlike, maybe. You know, they like those sweet vegetables, don't they? Like the sweet corn.
Yeah.
And then with that, the only fresh ingredient really I'd put in here, half a cup of chopped onion, leek or spring onion. So what we're going to do, we'd start by frying the spring onion, leek or onion as a base, and then we bring the rest together and bind it with the potato. And then apart from that, any herbs you've got and salt and pepper.
Okay, mix them up. There's no rules. You can put parsley and mint and tarragon or sage together. It doesn't matter.
There are certain ones I would avoid. Woody ones, like rosemary. You don't want the bits stuck in your teeth. So soft herbs.
Soft herbs. Okay, and then of course if you want to make it spicy, you can add some spice. All right, how do you make them? What's the method?
Right, so you've got your various cups or bowls full of leftover ingredients. Ideally, you know, the little takeaway tubs after a roast dinner or after the barbecue, pile everything up and pop them in the fridge straight away. Important to not freeze, chill things as fast as you can.
So
after
you
each
prep
time.
actually on a Sunday.
You're basically prepping after your last meal.
Yeah, okay.
However, you can easily boil a potato or two, or the quickest way to get fluffy white potato, by the way, is put a big potato in the microwave for 4 minutes and then take the skin off. You've got mashed potato.
Fantastic idea.
It says boiling.
Where have you been all my life?
And then to the mashed potato, so you've fried your onion in a little bit of oil and butter. Butter adds such a lovely flavour.
Yeah.
If you are vegan, don't put butter, put some non-dairy spread. Perfectly fine with some oil. You just, over a low heat, bring them to a nice little sizzle so that they soften and caramelize slightly. That means golden, not dark. And especially true with leek. Leek and spring onions, they colour very, very quickly.
Right.
So low heat over maybe 10-15 minutes, you know, just to soften them, because we're not going to cook these for long afterwards.
Right.
Then into that, you can add your leftover vegetables. You choose the ratio. You know what you like. You know what you've got. Add it into the frying pan, and then finally add your meat, chopped up into small pieces. You want this to bind quite nicely, so you don't want anything big and chunky in there. Just finely diced, and then bring it all together with your mashed potato to form a bowl full or a pan full of mush, and then you're going to use that to form some little patties, some little balls. An ice cream scoop is perfect. Take a scoop, pop it into your hand, either damp hands or floured hands, to make a little patty, and then pop it to one side until you've finished making them all.
So once you finish making them all, what do you do?
You can just keep them as they are. They're best if they're refrigerated for a short time because it firms everything up. But then I would dip it into some plain flour, any flour you've got, quite honestly, roll it around, then into some beaten egg, which makes it really sticky, and then into some breadcrumbs. And that way you've got breadcrumb coated. If you've got children, buy the done panko breadcrumbs, golden brown, and they look like any shop-bought orange food that you might find.
Of course.
And then they might be tempted to eat homemade food.
And how do you cook them? Do you fry them, or can you put them in the oven?
You can put them in the oven. I find shallow frying them is as good as any. They don't take long. Everything in there is cooked already.
Okay.
However, if you're going to put chicken in, it is important to bring them to the magic 75 degrees. You shouldn't ever really reheat chicken, but what you do is recook it to the same temperature to kill any bacteria.
Okay.
So if you're using chicken or anything that is a little bit suspicious, make sure it's absolutely piping hot through, because it is a leftover meal at the end of the day.
Okay, you youngsters, that's what a rissole is, and it sounds amazing. Very quickly, what's the difference between a rissole and a faggot?
Oh, they could not be more different.
Is this like another...
No.
Why'd you come back again and tell us?
A rissole is, as I said, based with mashed potato and other ingredients thrown in and breadcrumbed. A faggot is basically the offal and any cheap cuts off pig, generally, and mashed up, ground up with some filler and some flavouring, and then bound in generally like a sausage, like a mini haggis, if you like. Okay, it's a giant meatball.
It's a giant meatball.
Let's think of it as a giant meatball. So one is very meaty, one is more veggie.
Somebody on the show told me, you know what? A faggot is like a giant meatball, but horrible.
Oh, no. They got that wrong.
He did get that wrong. I'm not looking at him. Right, wonderful stuff. If you would like to get your hands on the recipe today, you know what to do. Give us an email. Send us an email, eleri@bbc.co.uk, and we'll send the recipe into your inbox by 5. But there's a cake. More to come after we get a travel update. Eleri Sion with you here on BBC Radio Wales, and Lisa Fearn is with us in the Foodie Friday kitchen. Right then, you promised cake.
I did promise cake.
And it's raspberry and almond cake, but you've got another name for this cake.
It's my 150 gram cake.
I love
it. It is so easy.
Why do you call it the 150 gram cake?
Well, because there's 150 grams of all the ingredients except for 2 eggs. Which actually, this is quite interesting. It will come to about 150 grams.
You're kidding me.
Not far off, 2 large eggs, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
75 grams is
Each,
1 egg.
yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay then, so what are the ingredients?
Well, it's so simple. Self-raising flour, or obviously if you don't keep that, you have plain flour using a raising agent, bicarb or baking powder.
Right.
And then butter or margarine, caster sugar, ground almonds. That's the only thing that's a little bit different to most cakes. And then the 2 eggs.
And of course the raspberries.
And the raspberries.
And every single ingredient, 150 grams.
Yeah.
Fab. So where do we start?
And you have to say as well, it doesn't have to be raspberries, and you don't have to have 150 grams of them. Let's say you've gone blackberry picking. So I'm going off on a tangent here.
No,
now.
I love it.
You go blackberry picking next month. Is it next month? End of next month, end of July, August.
Yeah.
And you just grab a handful. I haven't got the patience, you see, for picking loads of blackberries. I lose interest a bit. I love a country walk, but picking blackberries. So anyway, you come back with a handful of blackberries.
And you've dyed your hands.
And you've dyed your hands in the process, or you put them in your jumper and you've ruined that.
Yes.
That is enough. That's all you need to put into the top of this cake. So, you can make it, again, whatever flavour you like, or what you've got.
Or leftover fruit as well. Strawberries going off in the kitchen.
Yeah. You could even use tinned peaches.
Oh, I love this.
Okay, any fruit.
Okay.
Pears works wonderful. Pear and almond is gorgeous.
Oh.
And also to make it, so if you are going to make it by hand with a bowl and a wooden spoon, it's best to cream the butter and sugar together first, like with any sponge or cake, because once you've got the butter and the dry ingredients in, it's hard to get to mix really smoothly and well. So start with the butter and the sugar, then add your eggs, and then add the 2 flours, which is the almond flour, ground almonds, almond flour, same thing, ground almonds and the flour, and then just bring it together into a nice batter.
And that's it.
And that's it.
You know the almonds. Why almonds and not do maybe 300 grams of self-raising flour or plain flour with a raising agent?
If you were to... almonds keep it... You say almonds, I say almonds.
Did I say almonds?
You said almonds.
Does that make me posh?
I think it makes you posh.
Yes! It's the
You're
first
not,
time.
You're not from Carmarthen, sure, are you? No.
Oh, I'm an Abereiron.
Oh, definitely posh. It makes it nice and moist. And so you know how a sponge cake, if you just use a Victoria sponge recipe, it can go dry very quickly.
Yeah.
If you don't put a cover on it or, in a tub, it goes dry. An almond cake keeps that moisture, so it lasts. It's almost better day 2 than it is on day 1, and it lasts a good few days. The only thing you'd have to watch in this sort of cake is the fresh fruit. They can go mouldy, so best then keep it in a fridge for the benefit of the fruit. If you're using a stand mixer or a hand mixer, you can just throw it all in a bowl and bring it together.
Really?
Yeah.
All in one go?
All in one go.
This is really easy. So you've created the batter, you bake it?
You bake it in a tin, a normal tin. I would line the tin or make sure you've done a good job of greasing it and maybe some flour to make sure it doesn't stick. A loose bottom tin can be useful where you can remove the bottom to make sure you get it out quite nicely. And then just bake it for about half an hour to 40 minutes.
Can you bake a cake like this in a sort of loaf tin cake, or does it need to be in a circular?
No, definitely. The only thing you'll have to watch, if you're going to do anything in a loaf tin, I would drop the temperature a few degrees, maybe 10, 15 degrees, and keep it in for longer, because the reason being that the centre of the cake is going to be further from the outside. So it takes longer for the heat of the oven to penetrate through and cook the inside of the cake.
Sorry, miss, can I have one more question? I cannot make a banana cake in a loaf tin cake because it's all stodgy and I keep it in there for an hour. So would it be better if I cooked it in an ordinary circular cake tin?
Yes, or what I tend to find, if I'm going to do anything, some things, they don't lend themselves to looking like a cake. It's almost like they shouldn't be round.
Yeah.
So I use a brownie tin. So you're making a tray bake, and then you can just chop it into squares or rectangles. But generally, with a loaf tin, just lower the temperature and keep it in for a bit longer.
Can I book myself into your
You
cookery
definitely
school?
can.
I've learned so much today. You've been amazing. Thank you so much. And that's the 2 recipes that Lisa has brought into our virtual Foodie Friday kitchen today. Raspberry and almond cake, and of course the Rissoles. The Rissoles recipe.
Controversial Rissoles.
Right, listen. We talked about faggots. Maurice in Brecon has been in touch. Eleri, bore da. Gosh, it's 2:30. I'm 26 and I've always enjoyed faggots courtesy of my much older half-brother. He would always pick up a pack from our local butchers in Brecon and roast them in an onion gravy with chips and mushy peas. Recently, however, I've embraced the simple pan-fried method, sliced in 1 centimetre slices and cooked in a bit of butter. Divine. Me and my tree surgery colleagues have become a bit obsessed, trying all the local butchers' faggots around Breconshire. They see you coming. They are truly a superfood and I don't know why more people don't enjoy them. Don't know what a rissole is though, diolch yn fawr. Well, you know now because we can get you the recipe, Maurice in Brecon. Diolch. Diolch yn fawr iawn. You take care and have a great summer.
You too.
You can find music and chat to soundtrack your day.
Hugh Stevens here.
What a song.
Absolutely stunning.
Takes me back to 1991, being in the Tom Tom Club.
The news, sport, travel and weather you need.
Well, we did see the Northern Lights in some parts of Wales last night.
So let's get you up to date. Let's get more on those stories. Morning, Tom.
Hi, Dolly. Good morning.
Or enthralling stories to dive into.
Surrounded by such beauty, you're not thinking about anything else.
Just ask your smart speaker to open BBC Sounds and play BBC Radio Wales.